Guys taking a look at Karan, but what will we see from
Block straight in the inside. He's the guy who took on
And he's a great three-point shooter, too, especially when he lets it go from one of those corners. He doesn't miss many of those.
It's a one-game reprieve at home for the Bucks. Here with the Milwaukee fans, and then back on the road.